Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode with your girl Audrey Codner from GED Math tutoring. We are continuing on our quest of measuring and trying to show off our math skills. So if you are going after your GED, your ASVAB, the ACCUPLACER, the TEAS test, the HESI test, or any kind of high school equivalency test, or maybe you're currently in Algebra 1, well then this is the live platform for you. So all we do is we go through some sample questions, you write down the answer, and then I explain how you can get it. How you can get that answer a little bit quicker if you use certain tactics like POE, P-O-E, which is process of elimination. So this is what we do. Come on in and let's get started. So for its check plus account, a bank charges $3.95 per month plus 10 cents for each check written after the first 10 checks written that month. The function to find the total monthly fee of F is F equals $3.95 plus the 10 cents times the number of checks minus 10, where N is the number of checks written. Greg writes 24 checks in March. How much will he pay in fees for the month? Is it A, $6.35, B, $5, C, $2.40, or D, $1.40? All you have to do is just put the letter into the comments. Is it A, B, C, or D? So I give you some time to put it in there. All right. Well, hello, Huckleberry James. Okay. So you'll use AI, it'll be easier. True, but guess what? You can't use AI when you go and take any of your assessments. So suck it up, Buttercup. We're going to have to do the work, okay? Inspired, you're saying A. You're going to ask Copilot? Okay. Well, tell them hey for me. All right. So O is saying option is B. So right now we got inspired with an A. We got O with a B. Okay. And if you're not sure what it is, go ahead and put a question mark into the chat. Okay. Because no matter what, I am going to break it down. I just like to give some people some time to go ahead and see if they can give me the answer. And then I show the process. All right. Okay, thanks so much for the following. Dancing Grandma. Probably going to be helping those grandkids out. Let's see if you can save a little money from tutoring. All right. So let's take a look. It looks like everyone's kind of like just waiting for you to do it, Audrey, because I have no clue. Well, let's take a look what they gave us. Well, they told us what the monthly fee is, and it's represented by the capital letter F. And they're giving us an equation. Anytime they give you an equation, that's like a kiss right in the mouth, straight from God, right? So especially from the math ones. And N is representing the number of checks written. So here's Greg. He wrote 24 checks, okay, in the month of March. Okay, that's nice. But they want to know how much will he pay in fees, which is our F, in the month. So let's set it up. We have our $3.95 plus our 10 cents. And they told us how many checks, which is our N, which is 24, minus 10. So all we did was we substitute the 24 checks in for the N. So now all we have to do is process of elimination. Or let's break it down by PEMDAS. Please, which is the parentheses, we don't have any exponents. So that means we have our $3.95 plus that 10 cents. Okay, with 24 minus 10, that gives me 14. Well, we have 0.10 times 14. That will give me my $1.40. And that's why they were saying option D, but we still have that $395 that we have to put into compliance. So it's not going to be D, the 140, because that's what you did when you multiplied the 10 cents with the 14. So now we have to add the $395 and the $1.40. So we have our 5, 9 and 4, that gives us our 13. So 3, carry the 1. 3 plus 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So right away, our answer is going to be B, $5.35. Okay, yes. All right, so let's take a look. Oops, see if I can slow it down a little bit. All right. So the sum of 4 consecutive odd numbers is 104. What is the largest number? Is it A, 23, B, 25, C, 27, or D, 29? Hey, Big Al, how are you? Here to catch up with your math whiz daughter. That's awesome. Thank you, Original Rosa. Okay. Too easy? Okay, not a problem. Yeah, Nico, that is not my calling. Sorry. Okay. All right. So let's see. Okay, my inquisitive face person is saying B. Mike is saying A. Okay, Nico is saying D. Anita, this is what grade maths I'm teaching. Okay, so this is really like for GED. So it's a combination of things. So GED and ASVAB. Okay, you say B is closest to. Gordon is saying D. Okay. On the T's test, yes, Destiny. Okay, Lakin saying B, Anita saying D, Big Al saying B, D corrected answer. Okay, thank you. All right. All right, so let's give you guys a little more time. So we're doing 4 consecutive odd integers. Now, first off, we need to know, well, sum means addition. Consecutive odd numbers. So if we think about it, if I'm going to write it on this little piece of paper here. So if I want consecutive odd, like really basic, I'll do like 1, 3, 5, 7. Now, if I'm starting at 1, if I want to go from 1 to 3, I would have to add 2. If I wanted to go from 1 to 5, I would have to add 4. If I want to start from 1 to 7, I would have to add 6. So the best way that I can say this, if I want to figure out 4 consecutive odd integers, and I know I'm looking for the largest number, but we don't know where we want to start. So since I can start basically anywhere, as long as it's positive, my first number I'm going to represent X. And like I showed you here, in order for me to get from 1 to 3 to the next odd integer, I need to add 2. This can work for anything. If I start at 5 and I want to get to 7, I still have to add 2. So what will represent my second number is going to be X plus 2. And like I said here, to get to my third number, if I want to start at 1 and I want to get to my third number, I have to add 4. So my next number will be x plus 4. So since we need 4, this is my first number, my second number, my third number. So my fourth number, just like I have written here, if I want to start at 1 and I want to get to 7, I would have to add 6. And it's going to equal our 104. So we had to figure out what the pattern of consecutive odd. Now, here's a little thing. If it ever says consecutive even, you can do exactly the same thing. Okay, think about it. If I start at 2 and I want to get to 4, I would have to add 2. If I start at 2 and I want to get to 6, I will have to add 4. If I start at 2 and I want to get to 8, I have to add 6. Okay, so now let's add all our x's up. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 4 x's, so that'll be 4x. Now I have 2 plus 4, that gives me 6. 6 plus 6, that gives me 12. And that's going to equal 104. So now, let me switch it over this way so it won't get too confusing. We want to subtract our 12, so that means we have 4x, and 104 minus my 12 will give me 92. And then I'm going to divide that 92 by 4. So that means x, that will give me 23. Now, a lot of people are like, yay, the answer is A, I'm done. No. Always when you finish getting an answer, take a look at the question. The question states, what is the largest number? The 23 is representing my first number. So if I want consecutive odd numbers, let me go back to this. Let me slide over here. So that means I'm going to start at 23. The next odd number is going to be 25. The next odd number will be 27. And the next odd number will be 29. So they want to know, of the 4 consecutive odd integers, what is the largest one? It's going to be D, 29. Yep, that's what I did, Destiny. I subtracted 12 from the 104. That's how I got the 92. And then divide both sides by 4. That's how I got the 23. Okay. All right. Okay. So it's a combination. All right. It's a combination. So again, some people can say, all right, I can start with 29 and then try to work my way backwards to see if that works. You can do that too. And to see if I started at 29, because we looked for the largest number, and then just figured out what would be my other 4 digit or other 3 digits, and then add these digits up to see if it gets me 104, you can do it that way. Remember, with math, it's never just one way. There's multiple ways of getting the same answer. Okay? It all depends on what you feel comfortable with. Okay? All right, let's do this. If it's odd, why do plus 2? Well, for me to go from 23 to 25, 23 plus 2, isn't that 25? If I wanted to go from 23 to 27, 23 plus 4, doesn't that give me 27? And if I want to go from 23 to 29, 23 plus 6, isn't that 29? Oh, you came a bit late. Okay. Yep. All right. So this works for odds and it also works for evens. So if I say 14, 16, 18, and 20, if I want to go from 4 to 16, that's plus 2. 14. If I want to go from 14 to 18, isn't that plus 4? And if I want to go from 14 to 20, isn't that plus 6? So anytime they say consecutive odd integers or consecutive even integers, you're using the whole plus 2, plus 4, plus 6 for our unknowns. Always start off with your x because you don't know what you're starting off with. And then you just add your pattern in, depending on how many terms that they want. Okay. I know, that was a little trick. So number 11. So which value for x makes the inequality x greater than 400 true? Is it A, 7 to the third power? Not 7 times 3, 7 to the third power. Okay, B, 4 to the fourth power. C, 3 to the sixth power. Or D, 6 to the third power. So which one of those will make the inequality x greater than 400 true? Okay, so Gordon and Smiley both say C. Thank you for the follows, guys. Is this GED? Yes, it is. Jenny! Jenny! C. Ebony is also saying C. Hello, Michael. Thanks for checking in. Okay. Just the Truth is saying A. Okay. Thank you for sharing, Carla. I appreciate that. Ebony, thanks for the follow. Pink is the answer. Yes, she is. She's a great songwriter and creator. The voice of my generation. Okay. It never gets old? Okay. I was kind of wondering. I'm like, I wonder if it does. Okay. Anita is saying D. Hold on. I got skipped a couple people. I want to take a GED. These questions seem hard. Well, it's going to be a challenge. But here's my thing. You're going to have to, I was just talking to somebody about GED earlier today. That remember, GED, the way they score the exams, every question is not based off of the same value. You're going to have some 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, 4 point questions. And a lot of the stuff that I'm hitting on is mostly those 3 and 4 point questions. That's what we're hitting a lot on for today. Okay. Some of them are 3, like say number 14 when we get to it. That's probably like a 2 or a 3 point question. All right, so I got some D's, I have A's, I have B's. Yep, you can see these questions anywhere. Yes, you can. Jay is saying C. I have a couple more. So sorry, got backed up here. All right, few people. Hazel Eyes is saying C. Kevin C. Jay, I see you. It's okay. Okay, Rudely Noted saying C. All right, Rox is saying C. Is that TB is saying C? Okay. You're supposed to take your set. Why are you nervous? Should not be nervous. Okay. Okay, GED's harder than ASVAB. I'm not sure about that. It all depends on your perspective. All right, Ty and everyone. Okay, let's take a look. All right, so first off, we need to know what these values are, right? So 7 to the third power, that's the equivalent of saying 7 times 7 times 7. Okay, so 7 times 7, that gives me my 49. And 49 times 7, that gives me my 343. Now 4 to the fourth power, that's saying 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. Well, I know 4 times 4 is 16. And 16 times 16, that's one of those perfect square roots of 256. C is giving me 3 multiplied to itself 6 times. Okay, so 3 times 3, that gives me 9 times 3, that gives me 27. So I know this is 27 and this is 27. Well, I know 27 times 27 is definitely bigger than 16 times 16, and it's definitely bigger than 7, like the 49 times 7. So that's roughly 27 times 27 is 729. I know, it's crazy how some of these numbers are just in my head. And then also we have 6 to the 3rd power, that's 6 times 6 times 6. If you really think about it, even though our base is 3 and is the lowest of all of them, but it's being raised to the highest degree of all of them. So 6 times 6 gives me 36, times 6 gives me 216. So knowing that this is going to give me more bang for my buck, I got 27 times 27, this C is going to be greater than 400. That's under, and that is under. Okay, so the key part about this problem is knowing your exponents. Like, what does it actually do? So the exponent basically tells the base, hey, psst, base, psst, come here. You are going to multiply to yourself 6 times. You, base of 4, you're going to multiply yourself 4 times. So that's what the rules, or that's what that exponent actually does. All right. So everybody wants to call me when I'm just not here. So for 12, 4 less than the product of a number, x, and 5 is equal to 8 more than the sum of 2, and the product of 3 and the number. Which of these equations could be used to find the value of A, B, C, or D? I would read off the answers, but that's going to give you the answer. Okay? So we have some B's, we have some A's. You're so lost? That's all right. You just got here. So I'm going to help you. Don't worry. Okay? And I know there's someone that's inappropriate in here, but I keep telling TikTok about them and they don't do anything about it. So I'm just ignoring it. So I know you're probably like, doesn't she see this? I'm like, yeah, I do. And if it shuts my stuff down, then it shuts my stuff down. God will provide, right? Okay. So Bella, we got our A. We got time being, we have our B, Ebony A, Gordon B, N is B. Is that Lil J? Is B? Forgot what I want to learn. No problem. I'll teach you in a second. Okay, Pookie. I can't even block him, Pookie. I can't. Every time I do it, all he does is just sign on to another account. So this is what you do with a narcissist. You just ignore him. Why give him the fame? Okay, you're saying A is the final answer? Well, let's take a look. Okay, let's break it down step by step. So it says 4 less than the product of. So first, we got less than, that's happening. We got product. And anytime they say product of, that means 2 things are being involved. So if we're saying 4 less than the product of the number and 5, product means multiplication. Okay, so that means the number x and 5 are being multiplied together. So if I take a look, all of them are giving me that. But here's the additional piece. They're saying 4 less than, not is less than, because is less than is an inequality. 4 less than is minus. So the 4 is actually doing the subtraction, and the 5x is in front. Okay, anytime they say a number less than, that means that number is taking on that negative or that minus sign. So just taking a look, it can't be A. Take a look here, oh, it could be B. Looking at C, they're saying an equal sign. That's not right. And then for D, it has it in that form. So we're good so far. It's either B or D. Now it comes to the next part. Is equal to, so we got an equal sign. 8 more than is addition, the sum of 2, and the product of 3 and number. So this is what they're saying. We are going to have the sum of 2. So it's really going to be 8 plus 2, because with the more than, they never change it. So you have your 8 plus 2. And that's our plus. The product of 3 and a number. Again, product of, that's multiplication. So that means we're multiplying 3 and the number. Well, D is out because look at the 3. It doesn't even have an X next to it. So your answer is actually going to be B. Okay, so this is measuring. Do you know how to translate from verbal to algebraic expression? Okay. All right. So here we go. Now, this is considered a 4-point question on the GED. Okay, 4-point question alert. You know, all right, you know, the cash cab, they always have like a red light challenge. Well, here's your red light challenge for this GED. It says, what is the slope of a line that passes through the points 2, 4 and 4, 6? Is it A, -2, B, 1, C, +2, or D, +4? Okay, so Nika was saying B. Or is that from the last one? Something, Ebony. Close. So it's going to be your y1 minus your y2 over your x1 minus your x2, or it could be your y2 minus your y1, or your x2 minus your x1. So remember, your y's are always going to be in the numerator. So you just have to flip it around. Yep, so you got rise over 1. So Gordon's saying B, Alex is saying C. Okay, Nico, this one too. Okay. All right, so Rox is saying B, Gordon, rise over run. Okay, Gordon, I see you with the B. Okay. Okay, it's not really Sokotoa. Okay, we're not dealing with our, so Juan B, Rihanna B. Yeah. Thank you, Gordon. Rox B, B, what is X and what is Y? Okay, I gotcha. All right, so we got our B's, Michael's B, N, B. All right, Peace, thanks for sharing live. Okay, Job, is it Jobby? Saying B. All right, let's take a gander. Okay, so some people are saying, I don't know which is X and which is Y. Think of the alphabet. So the alphabet usually ends with X, Y, Z, right? So your first number of the coordinate, that's your Y, X, and this is your Y. This is your X, and this is your Y. So since we normally read from us in the States, because I know we got some people who are not, we read from left to right. So since this is the first point I see, this is going to be my X1 and my Y1. Since this is the second point that I see, this is going to be my X sub 2 and my Y sub 2. Okay, so this is saying these are your X and Y's of the first point. These are your X and Y's of the second point. So I'm going to show you that it matters that the Y's in the numerator and the X's in the denominator, but it doesn't matter which one comes first. You should get the same exact answer. So let's continue on. My Y1 is 4 minus my Y sub 2, which is 6. My X sub 1, which is 2, minus my X sub 2, which is 4. So 4 minus 6, that gives me a negative 2. And 2 minus 4, that also gives me a negative 2. So when I divide, I got a negative divided by a negative, which will give me a positive. And 2 divided by 2 will give me 1. So like I said, let me show you both ways. So what happens if I do it the traditional way? So we have our Y2, which is 6, minus my Y1, which is 4. And my X sub 2, which is 4, minus my X sub 1, which is 2. And the reason why I like this way better, because I read from left to right. That's I can go my Y to Y, X to X. But this is what a lot of people make the mistake when they do it the traditional way. They do well with the 6 and the 4. But then all of a sudden they go 2 minus 4. Like they go one way and then they try to go the opposite way. Nope, you're going to get a wrong answer each and every time. So this is why. And if you notice, they both give me the same exact answer. As long as I keep the pattern. If I start with a Y with the second, that means I'm not to the second. If I'm doing Y sub 2, that means I'm doing X sub 2. Don't switch them around, okay? So it doesn't matter. Change your Y's over change of X. That will be a 4-point question on the GED, which our answer is B. You don't want to miss too many of these. Okay, if you're thinking about getting your GED, you do not want to miss too many of these. If you skip all of the slope questions, all the questions dealing with the equation of the line, all the questions dealing with system of equations, volume, what else do they have? Factoring. If you skip any of those, you're not going to pass the GED. I'm going to tell you right here, hands down. The way it's calculated, the only way that you'll be able to pass, you do somewhat decent for your basic math concepts. That means adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing fractions, decimals. You're going to do well with those. Getting your distance formula, getting your percentages, you can pass partially. You can't pass. If you skip all the other ones, all the other 4-point questions I mentioned, you're not going to pass. But if you can get 3, at least a good solid 3, and do really well with the 1s and 2s, and just get 3 of those 4-point type questions that's dealing with slope, you will pass your GED. That's how it's calculated. Okay, so far, I think since the summer, I have, how many passed GED? 7 people passed GED. 7 out of 7, so I'm 100% right now. Not to pump my own brakes. Okay. All right. Do I have practice for the ACT? Yes, I do. Only the math portion. You don't want me to help you with the English portion, as you haven't seen example A through Z since I started this live. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Michael. There we go. All right, so we got some B's and some 31s. So what is the next number in the sequence? We start off with 1, then 7, then 14, then 22. And a lot of you guys are saying, I see B's, 31s, B's. I got an A, got a 31. Okay, we got the +6, +7. Thank you, Patrick. We got spades with 31. We got 31 A's. We got B's. We got C's. We got A's. Practice pages for the ASVAB. There are tons online. All you have to do is just type in ASVAB practice pages, and you'll see tons of them. That's where I get all of these things. Okay, Viking night. We got B's. All right, so let's take a look. At first, I was like, yay, everyone's got it. And then all of a sudden, the guy went a little curveball. So let's take a look. How do I go from 1 to 7? I'm going to add 6. How do I get from 7 to 14? I'm going to add 7. How do I get from 14 to 22? I'm going to add 8. So that means in order for me to get to the next term, I need to add 9. So that means 22 plus 9, that gives me 31. Okay? GED, that's considered a 2-point question. Okay? All right. Roxy, oh my goodness, how are you? So forever long. I hope you're doing well. Okay. Am I a school teacher? I like to play one on TV. No. I was a school teacher, but now I'm an online tutor. So I tutor students throughout 7th grade all the way up to adults. So anything from Algebra 1 to college algebra. And I've been helping people with their GED, the ASVAB, ACCUPLACER, Praxis. It's just been an interesting, fun little ride. Okay, just on lunch break. Oh, okay. Thanks for stopping by. We'll catch up one day. Okay, thank you. All right, what are these questions for, like, what grade? These questions, they're mostly like GED. These are like mostly GED, but they are also used for the TEAS test and the HESI test. Because TEAS and HESIs, their algebra really hits a lot similarities with the GED. And then the ASVAB takes a lot of these concepts, but it go close to up to like Algebra 2, especially Army and Air Force. No, I lied. No, Army and Air Force. Navy is the one that goes all the way up to calculus. Yeah, like Calc 3. Like insane. Like that's not me. Okay? So if you want to get in the Army and the Air Force, I can help you. All right, so what is the y-intercept of the line with the slope of 2 that passes through points 1, 2? Okay. All right, this is not easy, and that's fine. See, here's my thing. We're going to break this stuff down. That's why I'm on this platform. That's why I come live, because I know I used to be that person that struggled with math. So that's why I like to take these concepts step by step, okay? I don't want you to stress. I don't want you to strain. I just want you to learn. You can't learn when you're in a stressed out environment. I'm sorry. Just can't. All right. Okay, thanks, miss. I know, my desk is all squeaky. Okay. So now, let's take a look. I didn't even read off the answer choices. We have -2, -1/2, 0, and 1/2. Anytime they talk about y-intercept, if we're looking at an equation of a line, that is y equals mx plus b. Okay, a lot of us have it memorized in our heads and we're not sure why. Now, your m is going to be your slope, and they gave us what the slope is, which is a 2. They also gave us the points. They gave us the x and the y value. So we're going to replace the 2 for the y, and we're going to replace that x with the 1. What remains is the b. The b is also known as the y-intercept. Okay? Your y-intercept is your b. That is your constant. When you're graphing, that's where you start. Okay? So now we're trying to solve this equation for b. First, let's deal with the multiplication. So we have 2 times 1, that gives me 2. So 2 equals 2 plus b. So I want to get b by itself. That means this 2 right here needs to go. And the only way it can go to the other side of the equal sign is do the opposite of what I see. I don't see a signage here, so that means this is a positive 2. The opposite of positive, or its inverse, is negative, or minus 2. So those are gone. And guess what? 2 minus 2, that gives me 0. I need that placeholder of 0 on this left-hand side because on this right-hand side, I have my b that's left over. Okay, so when I cancel out these 2, I still have a b to bring down. But if I just cancel out these 2, I don't have anything over here. So I need to put the 0 as a placeholder. So now, what is our y-intercept? Our y-intercept is C, 0. This was traumatic, I know. I know, it's your inner child that when you were first learning algebra, you probably either had a teacher that's like, you should know this is easy. And you just didn't get it. And you never wanted to raise your hand and say, can you show it one more time? Because everybody wanted to go out for recess. And you did not want to be that kid that says, I don't get it when everybody wants to go to recess. No, you don't want to do that. And you know why I know this so well? Because I was that kid. I just stayed quiet when I didn't know anything. And now, at the rightful age of 53, I like to speak up. And I speak up quite loudly. Right? I know. All right. Yep. And that's what everyone keeps saying. Your second enemy is math. Oh, I'm so traumatic about math. It's all because of your exposure to it. Guys, that's what it was. So hopefully I'll be able to kind of you don't have to love it. Look at me. I'm a math teacher. How the hell this happen, right? I mean, fractions, nope. Nope. Word problems, hell no. I wasn't doing any of that. It was just as soon as I saw it, shut down immediately. Now I'm a math teacher. Now I'm a math tutor. This is what I do on a daily. And I tutor kids not only in my state of Maryland, but throughout the U.S. and Alaska, now Puerto Rico, and at one point, Nairobi, Kenya, and Cairo, Egypt. Hey, what? Hey, girl is growing up. Just have to take it step by step. All right. Rationals, can I tutor adults? Yes, I can. I do tutor adults. 7th all the way up to adults. All right, let's take a look at 16. The graphs of the equation y equals x plus 3 and y equals negative 2x minus 3 are drawn on the coordinate grid. In the coordinate plane below, blacken the circle corresponding to the point at which the 2 lines intersect. All right, so again, GED 4-point question. Anytime they give you equations or slopes or graphing, 4-point question. So we're not going to just run away with this, okay? We're going to take this step by step. So first, let's graph each of these lines. So this is what happens. Ready? Step by step. Remember I told you earlier about this y-intercept? Well, if I look at this first equation right here, my y-intercept is going to be the 3. And let me show you why it's called a y-intercept. Let me make it a lot bigger, like about that much. All right, so if I look on my y-axis, where is my y-intercept? My y-intercept is going to be here at 3. And I'm not going to put a big circle because we need to do that later. So my first point is going to be at 3 on the y-axis. So now from here, I'm going to look at my slope. My slope is the rise over run. If you don't see a number in front of your x, it's assumed to be a 1. So that means your rise is going to go up 1, and your run is also going to be 1, but going to the right. So if you ever have a whole number as your slope, put it over 1, because slope is always a fraction. Okay, no matter what, slope is always a fraction. So if it's a whole number of 1, you're going to put it 1 over 1. If you ever get a slope that was 2, that means I'm putting a 1 over that 2. So this, I'm going to go up 2 and then over to the right 1, because going to the right is your positive numbers, going to the left is your negative numbers. So from this point, I'm going to go up 1, over to the right 1, put a point. I'm going to go up 1, over to the right 1, put a point. So if and I'm going to draw a line, it will look like this. Okay, so this is the graph of that first equation. Okay, so now I want to do the graph of the second equation on the same grid. So I have y equals negative 2x minus 3. Where would I start on the y-axis? Put it in the chat, because I want to make sure you guys are with me. Where would we start on the y-axis for this equation, y equals negative 2x minus 3? Okay, good, excellent. Yes, we're breathing life here. That's it. We are breaking generation curses. Good job, guys. We're starting right here at negative 3. I'm just going to put a little marking here. So now, my slope is a negative 2. So that means, let me put it down here, my slope is negative 2, and I'm going to put it over 1. Anytime it's a whole number, you make it into a fraction. So this is telling me I am going to go down 2 and to the right 1 from my starting point. So from here, I'm going to go down 2, 1, 2, to the right 1. Okay, but guess what? I can't go down 2. I can go down 1, but I can't go down 2. This is the fun fact about negative slopes. The negative can go in the numerator or the denominator. So I can change this and make it 2 over negative 1. So this is going to be the direction. I'm going to go up 2, but I'm going to go to the left 1. You can't make both of them negatives, because if you do that, you're going to tell me I got a positive slope. We don't have a positive slope. We have a negative slope. So that means the negative has to carry either the numerator or the denominator. Okay? So from my starting point, I can go up 1, 2, and to the left 1. And if I do it again, 1, 2, and to the left 1. Ooh, I think we have intersection. If I can draw a straight line. Tell me, what movie is that from? What movie is that from? Okay. So we have an intersection right here. And I'm going to darken it, because that's where my point's going to be. And I know it looks kind of weird because all these bubbles can be a little distracting. But again, this is how they do their tests sometimes. So my x value is at -2, but my y value is at +1. So where the two lines intersect is at -2, +1. That's going to be that point of intersection. Okay, let me scroll that down a little bit. Grease. Yes, Jen. I knew Jenny was going to get it. Jenny. Okay. Is this too advanced for him? I don't know. Because here's the funny part. This is like considered Algebra 1. And I actually tutored a young man that was in the 5th grade learning Algebra 1. Because, his mom wanted him to be a little more advanced. So I don't know. It may be a possibility. It might be spot on. So, but, yeah. Okay. So that is where we're actually heading. Okay. So again, I got to go tutor. It's like, when I get a break, what do? I come on TikTok just to kind of give you guys a little bit of counseling. Now, here is the thing. Let me unzoom this quite a bit. So here's one thing, and especially I know there's people that came a little bit later and they're like, oh, I wish I knew what was going on in the beginning. Well, if you come here, and I know last night's was late because for some reason, I don't know, downloading was weird. You can go here, you can type in this, right? And then you can go ahead and subscribe. It's a free subscription. And there is a playlist that says TikTok Lives. Okay. So when it says TikTok Lives, you will see recordings of all of my sessions, like everything from February 2nd all the way up to yesterday. Okay, so in the beginning, I would do like just one concept and I would do a whole lot of processing. But then I noticed a lot of people seem to need more of the mixture. And then I was like, all right, well, if people need more of the one-to-one, you guys can hire me for your tutoring service. Okay, but this is where you can do. Do I go live on different accounts? No. If there's another account with my name on it, please let me know. I tried to check that at least once a month. There's only one Audrey. You don't want more than one Audrey in this lifetime. Like me, Audrey Codner, you don't want more than me. I don't think the world could take that. It's too crazy. All right. Okay. I think you are, Yvette. I think you are. Yeah, I shouldn't have multiple accounts. Yes, Michael, thank you for the stickers. So if anything, you can, if you want, if you haven't already, we have a nice little fan club here. Still trying to figure out what to do with the fan club, so I'm just keeping it for free for right now. But we don't have to do with the super fans, just be like a regular old fan club. There is a heart emoji right next to my name. If you click on that, you can just join in my little fan club. I am currently working on something that I would like, and I will be sharing with my fan club before I release it out to everyone in TikTok land. But if you do need someone for like private tutoring or maybe even small group tutoring, just let me know. I currently have some courses for the GED Math only. The same thing with the ASVAB, the ACCUPLACER, TEAS test. If you want, you can do the Foundations to Algebra course. This is where you can go to sign up for those. And let me see. I also have workbooks, but there is something that is going to be coming down the pike that is going not really to replace the workbooks, but to really support those people that, hey, Audrey, I really want you to be my tutor, but I just can't afford you. And it happens because my tutoring services are normally $92, but I'm doing it for TikTok people at $77. So those are what I do. Okay. Thanks. Yeah, I think you are. So if anything, if you have any questions, there should be a Service Plus button somewhere. I think it's an orange button that says Service Plus. If you need to contact me, you can contact me there. Or you can just simply send me a message. Even if we're not like TikTok friends yet, I always check my requests every time someone sends me a message. Now, please, I say this every time, don't just send me a message saying hi because I will delete it. I'm not even going to correspond. If anything, hi, and tell me what you're thinking about doing. You're thinking about getting your GED. You're thinking about your ASVAB. You need help with tutoring with your kids. Whatever it is, okay? Even though, or although that I only tutor 7th through adults, but I do have friends that tutor younger students. So at least I can guide you in the right direction instead of you running all over the place trying to find a tutor. Yes. Yep. Per session, Isabel. Per session. Yes, ma'am. So, and the sessions are usually an hour long. Okay. If we do need some tweaking and I have time to kind of leak over another 5 or 10 minutes, that's fine. Okay. But if it's another, I think that's it. So, Doc has done its damage, supposedly has taken something away from me, because as everyone's tapping, I'm not seeing any recognition of it, but that's okay. As long as you guys are getting the information that you need, that's what's important. Okay. All right. Again, if you need me, just go ahead and contact me. I will try to come on a little bit longer tomorrow. And I'm thinking about coming on like roughly like around 3:30 or 4 o'clock tomorrow since it's Friday and I don't have as many students. Okay. All right. Not a problem. Thank you, Big Al. Appreciate you guys. Okay, here we go with the puzzle piece. It's not sliding over, but you want me to slide it. TikTok, let me be, man. All right. Well, as soon as I'm able to get my whatever, this lovely little puzzle piece sliding over, then I can end the live and go to tutoring. All right, everyone, have an amazing day, and I will talk with you soon. Okay, take care. Bye now.